But next up, y'all know what time it is. It is Power Rankings NFL Week 4. We're going into Week 4. What are the power rankings? What are we going to do? What are we going to say? Is it going to be crazy? Are y'all going to agree, disagree? Hit us in the comments. Let us know, like, and subscribe. Because we're going to start off with our guy, Hollywood Sensei. Tell us your power rankings and why.
All right, so one, the Eagles, undefeated Super Bowl champions. And of course, it's my hometown, so shout out to the Eagles. You know what I mean? Eagles won. And they not even playing their best football. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Not playing their best football right now, but they still the one team in the league until somebody knocked them off. Two, the Bills. You know what I mean? Josh Allen, I feel like he's just been showing why he's was named the MVP last year. Like, it's just James Cook is coming on crazy. Like, I mean, it's like, is Dalvin Cook even in the league anymore? Like, he didn't just completely surpassed his brother already. Like, and then, I mean, I like what I'm seeing from Khalil Shakir. You know what I mean? As far as receiving. Three, the Lions. I mean, they lost to the Packers. Packers is a good team. It's the only loss. I feel like they finding their offensive identity without Ben Johnson, and the defense is getting back with all the injuries they had last year. For the Rams, the Rams is just a good football team. I like them defensively, offensively. Matthew Stafford seemed like his back is holding up right now. So as long as that's the case, they there. And then five, I mean, even though I'm heavy against any other team in the NFC South, not named the Atlanta Falcons, but I gotta go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at five. Like, I mean, as much as I hate them, you know what I mean, I respect what Baker is doing right now. And Emeka Ibuka is looking like he might be the best receiver out of this draft class. You know what I mean? So that's my top five. That's the five.
Shout out to Hollywood Sensei, his top five. Let us know. Do you agree? What you agree? Well, I think most of our similar, so I'm not going to go into disagree or agree. We'll talk about it after. But next up, we have the one and only, the legend himself, Mr. Say his power rankings is right here. Uniqo wins.
All right, so you got to stick with your undefeated teams first. So that was the Bills and the Eagles. Who's the better of them? I got to go with the champions. So yeah, Eagles are first, and then Bills are second. Now this is where things get cloudy. You got to look into one-loss teams now, 3-1. It's a lot of teams. It's 3, 6, 11, and 12 of them. And hold on, it's 9. My bad. So with that being said, it was hard for me to figure it out because some of these teams are suspect because you have your 49ers. They are one loss team, but really, are they really a one loss type of team or you know what I mean? So I had to go with the Rams for 3 just because you beat the Colts. And had the Colts won, they would have been undefeated as well. So then they would have been, but I couldn't put the Colts over the Eagles and Bills. But since the Rams beat the Colts, hey, that's how it's got to go. Rams is 3 and Colts is 4. And then for 5, I have the Lions because, man, I think that's a complete team, man, for sure.
Shout out to you, Nico Williams. But at his power rankings, we have Monray up next.
I think my power rankings is probably the most different out of everybody's. The only thing is I have to switch the Buccaneers and the Packers, which I will explain why. But from top to bottom, like the Eagles, I think it's unanimous. I don't have to say much about them. The only thing I'm questionable about is their secondary. Second, I put the Lions because outside of the Eagles, the Lions have looked pretty much like the Lions. They ran off 3 straight. They haven't struggled in none of them. They put up 30 to 40 points on everybody. You know, some of the teams are a little lacking. One of them was a bit surprising. And it's just like they look like the first game was more of like, you know, a bit of a snafu, you know, pass rush they wasn't ready for, away game in Lambeau Field. It just looked like they wasn't ready for their game, but now that they're ready, they're here. They look a lot better in every other way. The Rams, I give respect to them because they are the only team that's actually, you know, made the Eagles sweat a little bit outside of the Buccaneers. But the Eagles were in full control of that game with the Bucs. They just forgot how to throw the ball in the second half. And so the Eagles just really are a tale of 2 halves. Other than that, the Rams have looked good. They've beaten everybody else. They look complete. They don't look like they have much of a weakness other than taking their foot off the gas. The Bills, I got at 4 because I'm more of a believer of strength of schedule besides just the fact that you're undefeated. And the Bills haven't played anybody worthwhile besides the Ravens. And you know, they played the Saints, you know, they played the Dolphins. Like, you know, and the Saints gave them all they can handle up until, you know, a couple of snafus at the end of the game. So I'm just like, Their defense doesn't look as dominant, but they are winning their games. So I definitely give respect to that. 5 is the Packers above the Bucks. I had the Bucks at first, so it wasn't really like a snafu, but I swapped it up maybe like an hour or two before the show started. Because thinking about it, the Buccaneers, I don't like how they've had to compete in every game, including the teams that they really shouldn't have had to compete much against. Like every game has been a one possession barn breaker that Baker Mayfield's had to throw them out of. And all their games shouldn't have been as competitive for a team that should be super high on power rankings. And I don't like that. Versus the Packers, I acknowledge that they have deficiencies, but the people that they've played relatively have been better, and they have more or less a positive, winning record. The snafu on the Browns, true enough, because they forgot how to play offense. But, you were able to put up 40 in the worst second greatest tie. So you had a thrilling game. Other than that, you have beaten the Lions. You can't take that away from you. And you destroyed them when you did that. And you showed that it wasn't necessarily a fluke when you won your second game in the same fashion. So I still respect to the Packers, but I do think they have deficiencies that the Buccaneers don't necessarily have. And I'm a little afraid of the Buccaneers going forward if, their defense doesn't catch up to Baker Mayfield not being able to just rescue them. So that's why I swapped them around. But other than that, these are my power rankings.
And of course, we have mine coming up. Let me
You
make
got the
sure.
Eagles on there 5 times, don't you?
Might as well. But be
Uh,
fair. We're gonna be fair. Listen, I know this is a little bit. I'm going by the eye test.
no AFC teams. What's wrong with this guy?
We do got one,
Oh,
but
one. You got
it's the
one.
one. It's the one because nobody else besides you, Joe, got another AFC team. Nobody can believe in them. But you're the only one that got another AFC team. But these are the power rankings. Of course, we took them last week. We went on a beautiful date with the Packers, right? It was beautiful. It was magnificent, by the way. They barely pulled it off. I mean they lost last. They lost horrible last week, but it's the Browns. Fortunate, but at the same time, we took them on a beautiful date, and it was gorgeous and it was beautiful. But we learned that they had an ugly attitude.
Hmm.
That they wasn't consistent. That we couldn't just keep taking them on dates. Yet
Well,
you're arguing with the waiter.
uh,
We ain't got time for arguing with the waiter.
hallelujah.
Arguing with the ref. We don't even know who half your corners is. We don't know half your
Well,
players. Micah went to the back and went to the tent. Y'all, all of a sudden they scored 40. One player got injured, sorta, and then the other defensive tackle Wyatt got hurt. And everybody know your defensive line. The only reason we know you. Then you got a little exposed when you didn't have that same. But you had a Cowboys problem. You lose
mm-mm.
Micah, Gary is by himself, and you have a Cowboys problem. And we definitely not putting the Cowboys up here on the power rankings, despite having an MVP caliber quarterback. So the date was nice, but now you got to move on. So we're
Preach.
gonna move on to a team that you beat. Why? Because I'm selfish. I'm a hater.
Amen.
I'm a hater. And the fact that you made me wait till 1 o'clock to watch you tie and then win that game make me kick
Hallelujah.
you off the list. And I'm putting the team you beat on the list. Why? Because they pretty. I see Armin Johnson get 3 a game. Joshua Gibbs, David Montgomery, they both had 150 yards. I like what I see. And I'm a visual person. I'm a
Mm.
visual person. And I love my visuals. And I love the visual of Jameer Gibbs breaking. I love Armand Green saying, I run this nigga. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I'm a visual learner and I love to be appeased by my visions. Speaking of visual, the Bucks. I know that they might not be the prettiest, but they got features that make a baby look good. You know what I'm saying? When you have a kid with me, like, hey, me and your kid will look great. You know what I'm saying? That's who the Bucks are. When Mike Evans get back, y'all still competing with teams, and when players get healthy, y'all gonna be beautiful. But right now, you just got features. We got to make the baby first. We got to make the baby first because, of course, right now you look all right, but we got to work on it. Maybe you put a little makeup on. You do your little thing. You know what I'm saying? We can make you look real pretty. Next up, we got the Rams. You know, Puka done had almost 130 yards every game. That boy Matthew Stafford out there. He looking real good at his age. He's like fine wine. He's that older woman that knows what she's doing. You know what I'm saying? He's simple. You know what I mean? That's who the Rams are. They the older woman that know what they're doing. You take them on a date, you like they know what they doing. She know what she doing. She know how to talk to you. She make you feel real good. She listens. She got the intent with the face like this. She got that old school raising. She know how to cook. You know what I'm saying? You take her home. You're like, yo, I love you now. You doing good. I don't know if I'm gonna marry you. And you might have to go later on when I realize how young I am. But you know what I'm saying? That's it. Next up we have the Bills. The MVP, the beautiful woman. We know what they are. They got the trophies. They won all the gymnastics. They got all the awards. You know what I'm saying? You want to take her out. She rich too. She got money. She got money. Yeah, she got money. And she look good. I don't know if you want to wife her because she a little dangerous. She might be out of your league a little bit, but that ain't the one you put a ring on. Why? Because the one you put the ring on is the Eagles. And how you know? Because almost everybody on this list had two teams in their top five. Monterey, let me get off this. Monterey,
Man, hold on. First
what
and
teams
foremost,
are consistent on this list? On all these lists, except for Uniqo's, of course. But what two teams are consistent on this list?
hold on. First and foremost, did you have family court this week or something, my nigga? You about to lose everything.
Uh, the only thing that's consistent is that we need a violation button on every show. That's what we need. Apparently, on every show we need a violation.
Monterey don't want to. Hollywood. You see, every list had the Rams, right? Every list had the Bucks, right? So in your top five, despite not throwing the ball and your receiver crying writing Bible verses that he want to leave, you can listen. It's fine. It's okay. But name another team here that beat two top fives. The Eagles. We beat two top fives, and when you're in a competition to get the ring and you beat the two other people that's in your list, you got to put them one. There ain't no way, despite how ugly it is. I even see ESPN arguing. They say this is the downfall. But y'all got two of the top teams in the top five. Y'all have it, not just us. ESPN, y'all had them. We beat both of them. And you said we didn't play well. How can we not beat them? Get out of here. That is the power rank this week. Any thoughts on overall, any ideas, any disputes, anything else on anybody's power rankings this week? Like I said, it's fairly similar, so we didn't have to debate as much.